Hi everyone, this is Dapper Ambition. I'm your host Nalani Selvasingham. Today I decided to do a video podcast as well. I just wanted to try it out because I felt like some people would prefer video over audio. I did ask a question last week, I believe, or maybe even the week before, and I had a listener write to me and tell me that for audio, like they can kind of listen to it on the way. It's just a lot more convenient. Even if it was video, they would still watch, but it might just take more time, because you have to kind of actively set aside time. You can't just do it on your way to work or while you're cleaning your home or your bathroom or, when you're doing something else as just something that you're listening to in the background. So when I asked the question, I actually wasn't intending to stop audio altogether, stop my podcast from being on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, all those platforms. I wasn't planning to take off the audio. I was just wondering whether I should do video as well. So I am going to try out the video. Let's just see how it goes. If it ends up becoming a nuisance, because if I'm doing video, then I need to make sure that I at least washed my face and brushed my teeth. And I'm going to be completely honest, the last few episodes that I had released, I hadn't actually done that. The ones that I did on my own, like obviously if I was having a guest, like I would put a little bit more effort, but just the audio ones, like it was just like first thing in the morning, got up, didn't, like I said, wash my face, I didn't brush my teeth, I just came into my recording room and just recorded. So we'll just see what ends up happening, and then we'll go from there. So Akash told me earlier this week that he was going to get the vaccine, the COVID-19 vaccine, and I was very happy for him. He works at the airport, so for whatever reason, they're getting the vaccine, even though like barely anyone's traveling. But anyway, I'm glad. I'm glad that he's getting the vaccine. So, or sorry, I should say I was glad that he was getting the vaccine. I asked him, which vaccine are you getting? Is it Moderna? Is it Pfizer? Is it AstraZeneca or whatever that other one is called? He was like, I don't know. I was like, okay, are you getting 1 shot or 2 shots? No idea. All right. Are you going to find out? Yeah. I'm like, when? When I go to get my vaccine. Like, what do you say to that? I mean, like wouldn't you, is that just my husband, or is that all the men out there? He's just like, I'm getting it. So yeah, like that's all. Like no other questions. He doesn't really care what he gets. And he got it. He got the first shot. So he was getting Pfizer. He found out on the day of. And he got the Pfizer vaccine. He got the first shot. The second one is scheduled for July sometime. And he's been fine. The first vaccine, apparently it's only after the second vaccine that people get a little bit more symptoms, feel a little shitty for a day or two, but then they're fine. But the first vaccine, he felt fine the first day. The second day, he said he started feeling just a little bit of soreness in his arm, which, I mean, that's expected even if, for any vaccine that you're getting. So just a little bit of soreness, but other than that, he's been great. And so on the day of he was getting his vaccine, and I knew the time was nearing because he told me what time approximately he would be getting it. I sent him a message maybe like 10-15 minutes prior to it, and I said, just message me once you get the vaccine. I just want to make sure like you're alive. Like I just want to know everything went okay. And he got the vaccine, and like right away he messaged, and he was like, I'm fine, I'm alive. And I'm like, just give it a second. Like, why are we so quick to be like, I'm okay? Just wait. Let's just see. Let's just play this scenario out a little bit. Let's just wait a little bit, see what happens. And at this moment, I would like to tell you guys the importance of making sure there's life insurance in place. You don't know what's going to happen, and thankfully Akash is okay, especially because like he doesn't have a life insurance policy. He has one from work, which is only like 25,000 or 30,000, and I mean, like, what am I going to do with that? So I've been looking into life insurance policies and I called So I called the lady, like the company that has my car insurance, or sorry, our home insurance. And I was speaking to her and I was telling her, I was considering it. And she's like, I could just give you a quote over the phone. I was like, okay, sure. Like, let's go for it. And the first question she asked me my age and stuff, which, I mean, she already has those details, but I guess, anyway, she asked me my date of birth. And then she asked me how much the mortgage on my home was. So I told her the amount, and based off of that, she gave me a quote. And she said that it's better to get a life insurance right now. And she was explaining something instead of a term policy. But I didn't understand why she was saying it was better. Something about the cost right now, it's lower for life, but then I'm paying for life. Like, that doesn't make sense. I'm like, the reason I want this policy in place is that if something was to happen to me while we're still like relatively young and still not fully settled, then I want to make sure he'll be okay. My intention is not to give him enough money so that he can pay off the mortgage and just chill. Like, that's not my intention. Okay, on his Tinder profile, if something was to happen to me on his Tinder profile after I'm gone, like, I don't want one of his assets or whatever to be listed as home is mortgage free. Like, I'm not about that. We're not doing that. So anyway, she gave me a quote and I was just like, okay, that seems kind of reasonable, but I'm gonna have to speak to her a little bit more. And I want to make sure, like, yeah, we're not setting him up for life. Like, that's not my goal. It's just to help him. Okay. So yeah, it's very important to have life insurance. If you don't already have life insurance, I think the best time they say to get it is when you're in your 30s, because rates can go up significantly after that. And I mean, you just want to make sure if something was to happen that everyone, or at least your spouse or your partner or your children, that they're taken care of. So yeah. So Akash and I have decided to go on keto. We've been trying to lose weight and be a little bit more active, and we've been really struggling, and we decided that, hey, maybe this is something that we can try. We'll see how it goes. I know it sounds a little drastic to do these fad diets, but I will give everything a try. Like, I will try. If it works, like, great. If it doesn't work, okay, then I'll try something else. So we're starting tomorrow. Tomorrow's Monday, so you know how I am. You only start on Mondays. You start those diets on Mondays. And we're starting tomorrow. We're going to be clearing out the house today with all, not just junk food, because it's not like we have a lot of junk food, just like stuff that we cannot have while we're on the diet, and probably drop it off at my mom's house or something. So all the snacks, the treats, potatoes, milk, all of that stuff is going to be shipped off, and we'll be doing a fresh shopping spree with just a lot of fruits and vegetables, and fruits that we can eat, vegetables, and also like protein, and make sure that we have all the fat stuff, because like that's a very big part of this diet. And I was listening to Joe Rogan today, which was a little like, it was odd that they even brought it up, but they were talking about, he has this guest on, and they were talking about how human beings, we have the propensity to want to eat sugar and to want to eat fat, and that propensity comes from our ancestors, because our ancestors would eat a lot of that back in the day, because they would never know when food sources would be scarce, or and it's pretty much them just kind of bulking themselves up, almost like planning, like how bears do, like when they're going to go into hibernation, like they bulk up. So just like, not just bears but other animals too, but so it's something like that, along those lines. So that's where we kind of get it from. So I'm like, okay, so it's not my fault. This is science. It's biology, it's history, what else can I say? Physics. Why not? It's just weird, because like when I was younger, like I liked sugar. Like I do like sugar. I love sugar now, but I did eat sugar, but I used to eat it like a normal human being, like a normal person. I remember one of my friends she's one of my closest friends and one of my longest, what would you say? Oldest friend, sorry. So I've known her for almost 30 years. Like we're almost going to hit that 30-year mark. And she always brings up the story of me during recess in elementary school. I think it was just Halloween had just passed or something like that. So I had this like mini like Mars bar, and she always says the story how that mini Mars bar, I would just take like little niblets of it during recess, and I ate that one tiny little Mars bar the entire recess. Like it lasted the entire recess. And so basically she was watching me the entire recess eating this little Mars bar, and I think the anger was just building because it was really just like a 1 or 2 bite treat that I kept it going. Like I would just like little tiny so she always brings that story up. And maybe even until like university, the way I would eat chocolate, it would be like I would have a chocolate bar and I would eat a little bit and then I'll wrap up the rest and put it in the fridge. Like that's like unheard of now. Like I would never do that now. Like I would at least go through 2 chocolate bars very easily if I had it in the house, which is why I don't keep that in the house anymore, because I could go through that so quick. But that girl that used to wrap up the chocolate bar and put it in the fridge, like where is she? Like I miss her. What happened to her? I want her back. Man, sad. Like how did I go from eating a small Mars bar for like 15 minutes for the entire recess to eating chocolate bars or a chocolate bar, just like a part of it, and then wrapping it up and putting it in the fridge, to now like in one go eating 2 easily. It's weird. And whenever we used to like, even like when I was a little younger, and we used to always go to Bulk Barn and we'll go on and we'll get a bunch of stuff, and I used to get so many things. But when I brought it back home, like I just liked the idea of knowing that it was there. So it wasn't like, oh, if it's there, I'm just going to binge eat it and it's all going to be gone. No, it wasn't like that. I just like knowing that it's there for if I want it, then it's there. So if it wasn't there, like if I didn't have it in the house, then I would be constantly thinking about, oh, I want chocolate. I'll be craving it. Like, I would be feeding for it. But I didn't do that when I had it in the home. And my sister and my brother, they would finish their stuff so quickly. They would get through their share so quickly. And then they would come and ask me like if they wanted some of mine. And I like to share. Like I liked the fact that I had this thing that they wanted, and I wouldn't keep it from them. It felt nice for me to be sharing it with them as well. So it was nice. But like I barely ate any of the chocolate that I actually bought because it would end up just like going to everybody else. And I'm all for body positivity. Definitely, I'm all for it. It's just I want to be the best version of myself. And right now, I don't feel like I am. And I want to do what I can for me to feel that way. And when I started losing a little bit of weight when COVID started, I was losing weight, and I got to a weight which, if I told you the number, you'd probably be like, oh, that still seems like a lot, but I felt great. So if I can get back to that weight, like I feel like I would feel good. I just don't like how I feel right now. And there's nothing wrong with me wanting to change it. So I'll let you guys know how this journey works out. If you have any tips, if you've done keto before, please message me, let me know something to kind of keep in mind. I've had a friend that shared recipes with me. She's just started keto, and I'm very grateful, and I'm definitely going to look into that, and I think that would kind of help me with my meal prep. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to try it, and Akash is on board too, which is great that we're both on board, because if it's going to be just one of us, there's no way, I don't think that I would be able to do it on my own. Thank you everyone for listening. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also, let me know if you have any feedback on today's episode. Grateful, thankful, blessed. Peace.